Hello and welcome to a game that I am very, very excited for, and that is release day for F1 Manager 2022, or F1 Manager 22, by Frontier Games. These guys are the guys who made Planet Coaster, Planet Zoo, Elite Dangerous. They know what they're doing with management games. However, this is their first foray into sports, and I'm a big F1 fan. And the odd thing maybe about me is I just enjoy watching the sport. I enjoy watching the races. I don't have a team allegiance. I don't have a driver allegiance. There are some I like more than others, but I'm not really, as much as I enjoy the Codemasters games, the F1 games straight up, I'm big into management sims. So this is right up my alley, and from what I read, Frontier's got the license for 3 more years. So this is their first foray into it, but I'm hoping this game gets the support it deserves and gets a few more iterations. But today we're jumping into the foundation. Video number 1 for me is just picking a team and getting through the menus, getting the overview, looking at what we're dealing with here, because there's going to be a lot of mechanics that you're going to have to get familiar with in order to play this game. So I think we'll walk through the tutorials in this first video and show people what we're looking at. So let's get started.
Formula One, a sport that spans hearts, minds and nations, where the 20 best drivers in the world come together to take on some of the world's most historic circuits. And that legacy continues today. The 2021 championship was thrilling from start to finish, and 2022 is set to be even better. New regulations will usher in an age of pioneering changes. New driving talent alongside returning champions will be dueling it out to the bitter end. The pressure will be on the team principals in the upcoming season as they manage their drivers, their cars, and the whole team to push to victory. This is not a challenge for the faint-hearted. This is Formula One. Mercedes returned to F1 in 2010, and since 2014 they've won the Constructors' Championships back-to-back every year. In 2021 they took home the Constructors' Championship once more, although they narrowly missed out on the Drivers' Championship, coming in second. Heading into 2022, Mercedes will insist on dominating the competition. Nothing less than the fastest car and the most wins will give the Silver Arrows the outcome they want to see at the end of this new season and beyond.
Let's look at our settings here. Okay, excellent.
Mercedes returned to it.
Now stop this. Now, you've got your staff performance, what it's looking at in comparison to the grid, which I like. You've got, of course, your drivers and your reserve driver and your staff. You got a technical chief, your head of aerodynamics, and your race engineers, as well as, you know, your pit crew and that sort of thing. And then you've got a little history for people that don't know. But this looks like something where you can get as nerdy as you want, which I appreciate. I want to dive into the nitty-gritty. For me, it's not all about the races. It's about prepping. It's about the in-between, the developing young drivers, the manufacturing new parts, keeping up with the grid. But if you look at
the
all
Red Bull
these,
team first on
these teams,
Ferrari,
I'm going to
McLaren,
stop
Alpine,
the audio on all of these. I
Alpha
don't know
Town.
if it'll replay if I go back. No. So let's just
2020.
stop these so we can take
William.
a look at every team.
Alfa Romeo, Haas joint,
And now, I think I know where I want to go, but I just want to take a look at all these teams. The objectives. Red Bull expects to be at the top, but I want to be in that midfield chase because you could go Red Bull, you could go Ferrari. If you're a casual player and just want to get used to the game, I can appreciate that. But I really want to dive into the little idiosyncrasies that make a huge difference. So we're looking at AlphaTauri, Alpine, Aston Martin. Williams expecting to be 9th is interesting. I would expect them to be, I guess their objective is 9th. I don't expect them to be anywhere but last. Hello, Nick Latifi. I am a Canadian, but I don't have an allegiance to those drivers. I think we're going to go here. I think we're going to go McLaren. I like Lando Norris. We just had the announcement a couple days ago that Danny Ricciardo will lead the team at the end of the year. Maybe we bring in a new reserve driver, a young reserve driver, and maybe poach a driver second seat if Danny's contract doesn't go according to the way it should. But you look at the balance. And driver, we're 5th. We're dead middle. Staff, 6th. Headquarters, 4th. Car, 8th. Car's gonna be where we're gonna have to focus because we have a slow car. The only cars that are worse, quote unquote, than us are Williams and Aston Martin. And it's the McLarens, according to this. So I'm going to go McLaren, and that's going to be our first choice. Lando's actually the number 2 driver, which I don't agree with, but that's neither here nor there. Daniel's the 3rd oldest driver on the grid behind Alonso and Vettel at this point. So I'm just going to go with that. And then Stoffel, I think, is 29 or 30, so I might want to get a younger driver in the reserve chair, build them up for a couple of years. But I'm going to go with McLaren, and let's get started. Set these settings. That's me. I don't have the heart to take Gunther Steiner out of the chair of Haas, so we're going to go with McLaren. Let's start.
Hi there. Nice to meet you. I'm Audrey Mensa, one of the team's senior engineers. Welcome to the team. It's great to have you on board. We have a strong driver lineup here at McLaren and a great team behind the scenes. And we're all feeling optimistic for this upcoming season. Let's not waste any time getting you settled in. As our new team principal, you're responsible for a lot of aspects of the team. Everything from managing our team's growth, overseeing our finances, and deciding on race day strategies will be in your hands. You can keep an eye on most things from your dashboard here. I can take you through it now. First up, an overview of the board. They're the ones who set the expectations for the team. If they're confident in your leadership, you'll be fine. If they lose confidence in you, however, they might look to replace you.
Uh-oh. So, we're getting the dashboard tutorial here, which is nice. First time we're booting this up. This is the first time I'm seeing it with you guys.
The board sets season objectives for the team to achieve. Reaching them will help keep confidence high, so be sure to familiarise yourself with what's expected. You'll want to keep an eye on the long-term objective for beyond this season as well.
So it's not only the race or the season, it is the next season as well.
Okay then, let's look ahead to the race weekend. We need to start preparing for the next Grand Prix, which will be the first of the season.
Bahrain Circuit. Should be a night race, I believe, as well.
As it's your first day though, there's nothing urgent for you to address. Feel free to explore more, or you can select continue and sign off for the day. Once you do, time will pass, but don't worry about missing anything. You'll automatically sign back in if an important event comes up.
So, first day, just a welcome to the team email. We've got our calendar
This is your
here.
calendar for the month. Pay attention to the events that have been marked. The race weekends have already been added for you. More events will get added as the season progresses.
So we've got practice, qualifying, race. No sprint races in it this year, but I think that'll be a feature that'll be added. I'm not sure if this is going to be an annual release, but I know Frontier has spoken to that being something they want to perfect in the future. We've got all the circuits, and this gives you an idea of, you can go individually circuit by circuit of the maps of the circuits, the sections of each circuit, the attributes of where your car is going to be good or what's recommended for each circuit, a safety car likelihood, performance of tires, previous results to the race. I appreciate how into the details you can get, particularly for a first effort.
This is where you'll carry out your final preparations for the next race. We'll come back here later.
So you can set performance targets for sponsors, change the build of the cars, and look at the drivers.
One of my favourite places. This is where the car builds happen, and where we develop and store our car parts. Throughout the season, you'll want to make sure the team are working on upgrading components, and that both cars are being kept in good repair. You can also use car analysis to compare our car builds to other teams.
So I like this.
Every team will continuously develop their cars over the season, so it's important you keep an eye on them. You can compare our team cars against any other team here, or even against an average of all teams. If you want to drill down even further, you can compare performance of specific car parts too.
So if you look at the grid average, we're looking at Danny Rick's car right now. You look at the grid average, we are slower than average, our acceleration is slower than average, our cornering is not bad but not great. Top speed with DRS, we're about average. Acceleration, we're almost exactly average. Dirtier cornering, we're not really. McLaren doesn't have the greatest car. Finance wise, we've got 25.7 million, which is okay. That's middle of the pack. Rank on grid. Let's look at the teams that we're competing directly against. An AlphaTauri, for example. We are better at high-speed cornering slightly. Acceleration's exactly the same. But the AlphaTauri car, Pierre Gasly's car, has us. Pretty much. So it'll be interesting if we can develop car parts to close the gap and stay in that midfield race, because I think we have the headquarters to do it, but do we have the means the financial means to do it, because we'll be well within the cost cap, but I don't know if we'll have it in our balance.
This is where you'll find relevant information on the team's drivers and reserve driver, including their performance ratings and contract details. You can also scout for new drivers to make sure we have the best driver pairing we can.
Now this is where I wanted to be as well, because we've got Danny Rick in car number 1. Okay morale. 1 year left on the contract. We know he's already leaving. He's 32 years old. We might look to poach somebody from another team, whether that be, as I said before, whether that be Gasly or Sonoda or just a younger Ocon from Alpine, just a younger driver to put in that seat. As much as I like Danny Rick, I'm not sure how much value he's going to give us before he starts to decline from that 84 at 32 years old. Lando's 22. He's got 4 years left. He's an 86. We're keeping him. He's probably a top 7 or 8 driver on the grid. Stoffel is 29, which I thought, and he's got 10 months left on his deal. So we're probably going to look for a reserve driver first. If we look at availability, Lando is 8th on the grid right now. Ocon's 25. Gasly's 26. And he's the same rating as Ricardo. That might be somebody we would be interested in. Ocon's a little bit better. Patience for negotiation. Most of these guys are open to it. The only guys that aren't are Lewis and George. I kind of want to keep Danny till his contract runs out though. Zhou Yu, he could be an option. Stroll. Do I really want to bring in Stroll? He is young enough. Sonoda, 21. Piastri, 20. But I'm more looking to scout for the reserve driver here. This might be our guy. Same rating as our current reserve driver. Drives an F2. He's 10 years younger. Yeah, let's throw a scout out there. He's Australian. He's open to negotiation, patience, virtuosi. Okay. Let's scout. Standard scout, 10-day scout. I have 2 scouts, so let's use 1 on him. Just get an idea of his attributes and what he would want for a contract, and then since our reserve driver only has 10 months left, we'll be in a situation where it won't cost much to buy him out. But I think Duhan is probably our preferred option there. And to replace Daniel Ricciardo, I really think I'm looking at Ocon. Is probably number 1. Put him in the top car at McLaren, but we'll see. I don't want to use both my scouts on drivers. Let's go check out the staff.
It's not just the fastest car that makes a team the best in F1. It's the people doing the hard work behind the scenes. Manage your staff from here, from department heads to your pit crew, and keep up to date on their performance.
Got an engineering team, 10, 2 scouts, and a pit crew. Technical chief has 10 months left. Aerodynamics 1 year. Race engineer for Ricardo. Race engineer for Norris. 3 years, 1 year. Okay. So let's look at the technical chiefs. Where are we in relation to everybody else? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So he's 10th, but we are 7th on the current grid. That's not great. This would be our best free agent option, and it would improve by 4 points, but he's 8 years older. Okay. Head of aerodynamics. None of the free agents are any better. They are younger. And race engineers. That's not too bad. Hayes has 3 years left. I want to keep him. He's the youngest. Oh, Bird. Oh, he's at Red Bull. Don't want to make Red Bull mad at me yet. Okay. So I think we're good for now. I do want to scout this technical chief though. What's his previous? I wish I could see his previous performance. See where he's at. It would cost us 860,000 to buy out an upgrade. Let's see what he wants for contract. Facilities.
From here, you can see all the team's facilities, from the staff buildings to the car park development centres. You can build new facilities or, if the team has the time and money, upgrade our existing ones. Facilities affect all areas of our team's performance.
So, building, upgrading, or refurbishing. So, brand new, making current better, or they degrade over time. You can refurbish them to their original quality.
Over time, facilities will degrade and become less effective.
There you go.
So keep an eye on their condition. When this happens, we'll need to look at refurbishing or even upgrading that facility to get back to maximum efficiency.
Car development facilities. We are level 2 on everything, which isn't too bad. I believe it said our facilities were 4th on the grid at this point. That's 11 million. 11 and a half. We have 25.7, 12, 12, 10, 8. We are 1 on the team hub, which is experience for our staff and drivers and morale for our staff and drivers. 1 on the scouting department. 1.3. I think that's going to be important. Race simulator, we're level 3. That's nice. We get an extra scout if we upgrade this. I'm going to do that. Then operations. We don't have a boardroom yet. How much? 400,000? Let's get that underway. Hospitality, weather center. Level 2 on the helipad already. Memorabilia room, level 3. I don't know why that's a priority, but okay. Level 2 on the tour center. Yeah, we're in pretty good shape. Okay. As I said, I want to focus more on
To
development
start a
of
project
car
now,
parts.
you'll need to commit money and
Because our
engineering
car
time.
is slow.
You'll be able to improve our car builds beyond their current performance.
Just wanted to take a look at that. The board.
Don't forget to check in with the board often. You can monitor board confidence levels, your available budget, and your progress towards a greater team rating from here.
So it's basically your meetings. How are you performing? What's your budget? Team rating. And your stats, your achievements. They want... Okay, budget for the season is $60 million. Season objective, 5th. They want 5th. They want high mid-tier, which seems hard to achieve with the car that we currently have. We have good drivers, not the best car.
Here you can delve deeper into team finances and see our balance, as well as understanding information on income and rewards, and the enforced spending caps we have to abide by.
Cost cap, sponsorships, monthly balances, season balances. So, I'm a money manager by trade. It'll be interesting to see where we get to with that. And of course, team standings. Let's finish the day and get a look into what we have.
It's no longer your first day. We'll have you on top of things in no time. You'll continue moving through days this way until it's time for the race, which you can see in the upcoming events list. It's good to get in the habit of regularly checking that list. Let's take a look at what needs doing today. You have an alert in the top corner. There's an important email awaiting a response, so you should check your inbox when you're ready.
Yes, ma'am. Okay, we've got our technical chief, head of aerodynamics. Welcome, congratulations, etc. Sponsors and a kickoff party. So let's go check out the sponsors. Merchandising. Your team must create merchandising featuring your sponsors. Paying to have that merchandise made has an upfront cost, but selling it will increase your sponsor income per race. So it's going to cost 14 million. It's going to cost 14 million, but give us $1 million per race. And it's required, so I have to do it. Core funding amount that your sponsor will donate based on your team rating compared to competitors. Sponsors will provide additional funding in exchange for obligations that you must complete. There's 4 of them, 105 million. Okay. Race simulator. Team must host a sponsor event in your race simulator. We have a nice one. Drivers won't be able to use the simulator while you're hosting, so they won't gain experience. But it's $2 million, 15 events. Race hospitality. That's not a lot of money. Memorabilia room events. Okay. That's staff morale. That helps. Okay. Preseason lump sum income per race about $4 million.
Looks like you've received a budget approval request. Most of the team's budget is decided by the board at the start of the season, plus whatever we get from last season's prize money and any extra sponsorship revenue we earn.
Okay, so improved driver morale, improved staff morale costs $10,000. They want a kickoff party for the season. I don't have an issue with that. Let's go ahead and do that.
I reckon that's a good decision. It should keep the team in high spirits anyway. Now that's dealt with, we can focus on our first Grand Prix of the season. The race weekend is still a few days away, so move forward when you're ready. We're getting very close to race day now. Just continue to do anything that's needed. In the future, you'll also want to decide on these actions yourself to ensure our team are continuously developing and improving.
So, we have completed a boardroom, which is nice to have one for the meetings now. Guess we were just having meetings in the parking lot. And we've also finished scouting, standard scouting. Preseason testing. We're 15th out of 20 on the grid. Oof. This car is not good at all in any area.
There are 3 different types of projects the engineering team can work on. We can design a new car part for use this season, manufacture copies of existing designs, or undertake research and develop our expertise for next season. Are you sure you want to start a new project now?
Yes, I do.
Okay, you want to get started with a design project. These are car parts we can design and manufacture in-house. Each car part impacts different areas of a car's performance, but certain car parts will have a greater impact than others. You can also view our car performance by rank on grid. This is a useful comparison tool and lets you see how our performance compares to that of all the other cars on the grid.
We are in the bottom
Take a look
quarter.
over the different car parts. The highlights indicate which performance areas they impact the most. Pick one that impacts the ratings you want to improve.
What do I want to improve first? Probably, where are we in comparison? If I go back, where are we in comparison to where do we need the most help? Because I at least want to balance it that way. Cornering seems to be a problem, and engine and brake cooling. So let's look into cooling the engine so we don't overheat. Suspension is brake cooling. Underfloor, that'll help with cornering a lot. And cornering is crucial at Bahrain according to this. Engine cooling is the side pods. TRS the rear wing. Okay, we're gonna go for cornering first. Let's see what we get. Let's go work on the underfloor.
The team's expertise in making new car parts improves with experience, so each new design is likely to be better than an older one. Just make sure to check the new design against the one currently installed. Testing is also an important step in designing a new car part. Our testing time is limited throughout the season, and it's up to you to decide how much to commit to each design project. If you assign some testing time to this design now, you can see what effect it will have on the car part. Once you've taken a look, let's continue.
Okay, that's cool. I like that. So we have 5.1 mega allocation unit hours. Every unit hour is equal to 1 million hours of computer simulation. So if I do this, that's 100,000 hours of computer sim. Wind tunnel hours, we have 68. Okay, do we have... If I do 1 wind tunnel hour, we see dirty air cornering much better. Drag reduction much better. I want to get the main cornering of those. So if I do a 2nd wind tunnel hour, medium speed, 3rd wind tunnel hour, 4th wind tunnel hour. Okay, I'm not seeing a change in the low speed cornering. So I'm just going to do two wind tunnel hours. No, 3. 3 wind tunnel hours. I think. No, 2's fine because it still gets the medium speed improvement. So we're gonna do 2 wind tunnel hours and 1/10 of a man unit allocation hour. That would improve us to 13th, 9th, 11th, 9th. Okay. That would make a significant difference if we could move up 4 spots. That would get us closer to our 5th goal. So let's just do that for now.
You can direct the engineering team to focus on specific areas of performance. F1 car parts are complex, and sometimes you'll have to sacrifice performance in one area to achieve gains in another. Over the season, we'll understand more about our car's performance, which will help you to guide the team's design focus. You can try altering the focus now if you like, or else stick with a balanced approach. When you're ready, continue with the process.
Okay, so if I want to improve drag reduction, everything else goes down, top speed goes up, acceleration goes up, cornering goes down. Okay. Downforce, low speed, medium speed. Okay, so I can make gains in a certain area if I want to, but I think I'm just going to keep it balanced for now because we don't have the luxury of being really good in one spot to sacrifice. We're pretty bad all around.
As a final step before the team gets started on this design project, you need to decide how many engineers you want working on it. You should also decide what approach they should take. Bear in mind, these decisions will have an impact on the duration and cost of the project. When you're happy with everything, confirm the project and the team will get started.
This is a long-term project. We're into May on this. 900,000 it's gonna cost. Assigned engineers can't work on anything else. If I add another engineer, it cuts it by 6 days. Diminishing returns when I get to 4 engineers. I'm gonna put 3 on this project and get it going because I have 10. 9 of 10 available.
Nice work. That's the project started. If you check your calendar, you'll see the team have given you a delivery date for the design. Once it's complete, you'll be able to manufacture that part anytime.
Okay, so we can make copies once it's done to put on
Continually
each car.
designing new car parts is imperative to improving our team's performance and staying competitive on the track. Check out the car analysis area regularly to see how our cars compare to others on the grid.
So if we want to manufacture a part, So we can make copies of anything we have. But I don't really want to do that yet. Because what we have isn't very good. Excellent. So if I go back to the inbox, the boardroom is done, which is nice. It helps the board confidence. Might give us a little bump if we struggle early in the season. And our scouting here. Cornering, braking, accuracy, reactions, control. He's not very smooth, so the tires would degrade, but he's very aggressive and very high growth potential, which I like. I think he's the guy that I want to get because he's young and he's also the same rating as our reserve driver. Let's compare him to our reserve. He's more accurate, better reactions, not as good at defending or overtaking. Adaptability and smoothness are a problem. Control's the same, he's better at braking. Same with cornering, but this at the bottom is what I really care about. Buyout cost with 10 months left, 281,000. I think we should do it. Unless we want to scout another driver. As a reserve though, I don't know if they'll want to be in a reserve spot. Like, would Piastri switch teams? Says he likes the idea. Let's scout Piastri. Because Stoffel is going to go, and also we're gonna have to keep Danny Rick's seat warm here. Now if I go back to my inbox, we also have a scouting lead on Ty here. If we compare him to, oh, he's better in every area. Absolutely everywhere. How much time? 1 year left. 10 months. I think we have to jump on him immediately. Because if I go back to staff, he would be the 5th best technical chief on the grid. And he doesn't have the buyout fee from other teams. Alpine's is better, Haas is better, Ferrari's better, Red Bull's better. But I think we have to sign him immediately. This guy's 39? Okay, if I compare him, I don't know if they can grow or not, because he is significantly younger. But I think we have to make the change. Let's go get him. Does it give you a... It doesn't give me a prompt of what he would like to be offered. I was hoping it would do that. Because right now he's a free agent, but I want to know how much he's going to cost me. Detailed scouting reveals again its current morale, salary, any cash bonuses written in their contract, how long they've been in their contract, and their buyout cost. I don't need to know any of that necessarily. How much is Watkins getting paid currently? 2.1 million. If I can get this guy scout for replacement. If I scout him more, no, it just doesn't want to. Let's say 3 seasons and then 1.6. If I wait and scout him for 30 days, that's the first time I'm doing this. Hopefully, detailed scouting gives me an idea of what he would want for a contract. What's his preference? Patience for negotiation is very high, so let's offer him a deal, and if he doesn't take it, I still think it'll be average. View your scouted information to create a contract proposal this candidate is likely to accept. So I don't really have that yet. Let's wait. I'm waffling. I'm going back and forth. Okay. So next is the race weekend. That will be in the next video. We're gonna try and qualify for Bahrain. Will we make it through to Q2? Or perhaps even Q3? We get one of our cars into the top 10. That would be super exciting for a first time out. But for now that the tutorial and the menus are done, we've got a team, we've got some staff, we've got some drivers scouted, we've got some parts on the way. I'll see you guys in the next one. Have a great one.